Now let's talk about another behavior change theory or model, and this is kind of known as strengths-based coaching. And by using strength-based coaching, we are going to be able to leverage our clients' capabilities by drawing in on their unique voice, right? They are the experts. And it assumes our client's resourcefulness and seeks to increase individuals' awareness. So we're trying to make sure our client can see that their inner strengths, skills, abilities, and attributes are going to help them towards their long-term behavior change, right? And when we start to help our client understand and are aware of their innate strengths and skills and abilities, we are going to increase their self-efficacy towards making that behavior change. Implementing strength-based coaching includes multiple things. The first is a positive tone. So it's important that we convey an attitude of professional, friendly, here's that word again, non-judgmental regard, so our clients can feel relaxed and encouraged to help explore possibilities. We also need to ask our clients to identify their character strengths, right? And this is something that's interesting because, if I were to ask you to do that right now, you might have to stop and pause because oftentimes people aren't used to answering this question about themselves. So it might help you to also ask, what have others said about you and your character, right? Have they said that you're caring or reliable or sociable or optimistic or funny, right? And it really helps the clients build a positive picture of who they are and can really enforce that behavior change effort. Third, we want to uncover our clients' values. And earlier in your sessions with them, you've hopefully gone through that kind of values process. But it's important that you utilize effective questions so you can determine those values and utilize them to help them picture how those values align with their goals and their passions of how they want to actually achieve their behavior change. And then lastly, we want to note progress towards our goals. And this is just simply put, it's going to help our clients recognize the small and large changes. Because as you know, when you work with humans, we want to make change like this, and whatever our goal is, we want it tomorrow. And that's just not realistic. And so it's really important, particularly in strength-based coaching, that we note even the small changes so that they can kind of see themselves making these improvements along the way. So when we implement strength-based coaching, we need to, or we're hoping to, generate optimism, because we know if we generate optimism, that's going to lead to enhanced enthusiasm and then reinforced resourcefulness. And what we mean by that is if our clients are resourceful, they are more likely to solve situations in the future that might have previously put them into kind of relapse. Because we know that our problems and barriers won't go away as humans, right? That just happens. And the same thing will be for our clients. There's still going to be issues that come up. There's still going to be barriers for our clients, but we want to help them figure out solutions so that they can help limit those barriers and kind of get past them when they do come up. And this positive approach can help our clients feel reduced feelings of fatigue and stress and can actually lead to a reduced likelihood of relapse. So now we're going to move into this idea of appreciative inquiry, or this is AI. And this is an approach to health coaching that began in the field of organizational behavior. And appreciative inquiry encourages our clients to focus on their strengths and to dream big, and helps balance optimism with setting realistic goals so that we can enable actual behavior change. And there's a number of principles of AI. I'm going to go through them quickly, but I really encourage you to spend some time to really think through them, especially since you're learning a lot of different types of models and theories and behavior change concepts. So the positive principle is essentially saying that positive questions lead to positive change. And we emphasize the importance of keeping a positive perspective basically throughout the entire coaching process. The constructionist principle is essentially saying that our words, what we say, creates our world. And so if we use a language that is in line with what we want our world to look like, it's more likely to happen. The narrative principle is kind of similar, and it says that stories are transformative, and people construct stories about our lives, and that's going to help them determine their future thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The simultaneity principle is saying that inquiry will create change, and Simply asking a question can begin the change process. So that's why it's really important as health coaches that we use those open-ended questions. And therefore, it's really important to choose questions that will initiate positive change. So not only using open-ended questioning, but ones that will initiate positive changes. And then the poetic principle says that people can choose what they work on and develop in their lives. And this really aligns with the fact that, we want them to focus on things that are going to take them in the right direction. The last 4 principles here that we're going to talk about are anticipatory principle, and that's basically says that our image inspires action and that positive images of the future are more likely to inspire positive action and positive behavior change. So asking your client what they visualize or what they see in the future, what's their best version of themselves, kind of this wellness vision, is a really important step in working with your client. The enactment principle acts as if it's self-fulfilling, right? So basically, this principle mirrors self-perception theory, and if you act as if, right, as if this is really happening, then maybe that's exactly going to happen. So if you start to, I don't want to use the word pretend, right, but if you start to kind of just work in your life and make these behavior changes and act as if this is your life, eventually it becomes your life. That behavior becomes your behavior. Free choice. This is really liberating. This principle echoes self-determination theory in that it says that autonomous behavior is really important so that our clients feel like they have a say in their choices. And then lastly, the awareness principle. And this is where you're going to be conscientious of the underlying assumptions that you might have as a coach, maybe some of your underlying biases. We talked about this earlier. And kind of reflecting that is just a really important part of the AI process. So all of these principles, they're a little bit different, but they all go into the AI principle. So let's go ahead and stop here and let's do a quick learning recap because I know that's a lot of information on these 2 different methods. So first is understanding, what is the strength-based coaching and, what could you do to implement strength-based coaching? And the second question is, what does AI stand for? So know that acronym, right? And then what are the basic principles behind it? And then next level thinking, how can you utilize that in some of your coaching? We'll pause here and I'll see you for the next lecture.